Hello, everyone. It is Pat with our February Archangels, Angels, and Energies video reading for the month of February. I hope the year is going well for you. And I'm excited because we have energies that finally feel like they're moving forward again. In January, we had Mercury retrograde going on. I spoke about that in the January Angels and Energies video. But now we're at a time where no more planets are in retrograde, which is great. So that really speaks to there being a lot of forward movement energy going on. So today is the 6th of February. And some of the things we have going on yesterday was the full moon for this month. And it was a full moon in the sign of Leo. Okay. And we are also in February, actually, is the month of the sun sign Aquarius. So we have some really lovely, interesting energies. And I want to say very positive ones moving forward. But there's always two sides, both sides to the themes that come up. So I've gone ahead and picked our Archangel cards for the month of February. And we've got some really interesting stuff going on. So anyways, the first one that came out was Haniel with this message of passion. So as I first start out talking about these, I'm going to talk to you about it at our more personal level. And then we'll kind of look at it from a more expanded level, like what does it mean, what you might see going on in the world, okay? So we have Archangel Haniel with this message of passion, and it says, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. And interestingly, Haniel is one of the angels that helps us to work with the moon energies, the full moon and the new moon. The full moon is a great time for releasing stuff, but it also can, it shines the light on things, and it's a time where sometimes things just get heightened, and so with this passion card, we may find that our passion has come back. We're out of that Mercury retrograde of reviewing and coming out of the hibernation of winter, if you will, a little bit. Although I've been hibernating quite because we had some really cold temperatures going on. So I was literally inside, sitting in front of the fire or making soup. But anyways, so you might find that excitement coming back again. And as I understand, the energy of Leo with this full moon there, Leo is very playful and it has that childlike exuberance. So, you may find yourself getting excited about something again, maybe a new career for you, or, it's also the month of February. So, it's re-engaging our passions or our desire to find that life partner, or maybe if you already have that partner in your life, if you're married or have a significant other, maybe you're re-exploring how to reignite the passion. So the energies are definitely with that this month. It can also be that, you finally feel, you feel very passionate about speaking up about something, okay, for yourself. Maybe something that you've needed to speak about for a long time, or something you feel called to speak up about because you feel very passionate about it too. There's that element as well. Or if you're looking for a new career, maybe you have some exciting new ideas and you feel that bubbling energy like, yeah, this is where I want to go. So there's a renewal of excitement and passion. And with the full moon in Leo, it's that playful, childlike exuberance and joy that, where you're really excited, which is nice. We also have this month the Archangel Azrael with this message, hello from heaven. So this card shows up. I'll read you what it says. It says, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. So this card shows up when we may unexpectedly get a sign, one of those signs from one of our loved ones in spirit who have passed on. Okay. And those are different for everybody. It's usually something that makes you specifically think of them. Okay. It could be a song that suddenly comes on the radio. It could be a particular kind of animal. It could be something you overhear somebody say, I'll give you an example. I know for myself, I have a brother who passed on over 20 years ago. And every once in a while, either when I'm thinking about him or even if sometimes I'm not, there'll just be like a particular, like a Beatles song that will come on that reminds me of him because he was in that time. He grew up in that time when the Beatles were, well, the Beatles are always good. We're always going to appreciate the Beatles. Let's just say that for what it is. But it was a time when they were really popular and he was really into the Beatles. So I'll hear a Beatles song, but I've had this card show up when just some really interesting and signs come from a loved one on the other side. Okay. And it's really just them letting you know that they love you. Um, the love that we have. In fact, I know there's an area in the Bible, probably in Corinthians, I think, that tells us that, those three things, faith, hope, and love, but that the greatest is love, and that love goes on forever. Okay. So just because someone doesn't have a physical body anymore, their consciousness and their spirit and their soul carry on in a non-physical way. But that love that they have for us never dies. And they often want us to know that they're there looking out for us and that, their love is still there for us and with us. I know this month for me, this is the month that always reminds me of my mother because her birthday was this month. So I anticipate that I may get some gentle, nudges from her that show up as something that reminds me of her. So I'll look forward to that. We also have the message of leadership with the Archangel Gabriel. So it says it's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So maybe you're offered an opportunity, or maybe you've accepted an opportunity in your career or something like that, where you're stepping into a position of leadership. And this is letting you know it's time. You might feel a little intimidated by that, but it really is time. And maybe you're more of a leader than what you realize. It also can mean that it's time for you to really take the lead on something. And you may, in fact, be doing that. And maybe it's related to something you feel very passionate about. Okay. So, Gabriel is, I consider her one of the very motivating angels. I think I spoke about that in my last month's video. If you, if you need help with that, help in that leadership way of being, firm, but kind or gentle. Gabriel is an excellent angel to call in. She's the messenger angel. So she can help us to say what we need to say, help to deliver messages that are effective, that are strong, and maybe firm, but kind, or that in ways that we can be heard better by those around us or the ones that we're looking to communicate to and with. So anyways, Gabriel's energy is with us too. Okay. So now, stepping back from and I guess stepping out is the better way of phrasing it, from a personal level to how we might see this play out on the world stage, or, at a national or a world, global level. Passion has a couple sides to it. There's that exuberance and excitement, etc., that motivates us to get moving forward. And the other, I want to say the other end of that is passion can also come out as anger or uprising. So you may, see in the world that there are more continued demonstrations taking place, continued uprisings. There's been a lot that's gone on in the world that is unjust, and people in masses are speaking out about that very passionately through protests, marching in the streets and things like that. So we certainly may see that going on. Okay. And actually, when I look at these three cards together, okay, I think that Haniel came out first with the hello from heaven and leadership. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Gabriel is an angel, she's a messenger angel, and angels herald things. And she's got the trumpet, so she tends to herald things. And I think when I look at these three cards together, it's not actually a thing. It's an intuitive sense that I got. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I just want to say this disclaimer as before I speak about this, because it's just passing on some intuitive impressions that I'm getting about what we might see. That's all. So, I think she's calling our attention to our leadership, the people who are in positions of power and leadership, world leaders. Okay. We may see something go on. I think we may, given this hello from heaven card, we may possibly lose someone who's either a world leader or someone who's really big on the world stage, very familiar, very well known on the world stage. And, it may, I don't know, it could potentially be through some kind of uprising or, I don't even want to say an assassination kind of thing. Maybe it's not that, but there might be some kind of weird energy around it like that. Okay. Because there are very passionate energies out there, very angry energies out there still. Okay. And, we may lose someone. But it's calling our attention to the leadership. And I think we may see a lot this year because I know one of the cards I pulled last month for the archangel that's overseeing us for the year was Jeremiah with that message of life review. And I mentioned that there's a lot of reviewing processes and making change. We're changing that which needs to be healed. Okay. So there's a lot of accountability that may go on this year and things being brought to light and people held accountable for it in our leadership. Okay. So, and I also want to say that, with these being archangel cards, now angels and archangels, we go to them because they do help to uplift us. They help to lighten our burdens. They're celestial beings. They are messengers of God, the divine. But they don't, I want to say spirit doesn't coddle people either. We still are in a universe or in an earthly reality where we have to face the consequences of our own actions. And they do, the physical world is a duality. So there's always two sides to themes that come up. The angels are always willing to help us when we ask. Okay. But they do herald things that, hey, you might want to be on the lookout for this. So anyways, these are some of the, little bit of what I, get from these cards that we might see coming up this month. I think it's, there's lots of excitement to look forward to in many positive ways. But there's also, other things that, we're still going to see other things going on that might disturb us too. And, we can call upon angels to help us work with, how can we contribute in a way that's for the best and highest good? How can we work at maintaining our own sense of peace going through all this? Because the world is still in a process of great change. And, the ups and downs of the world, they've been going on for decades, for centuries. If you go back, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, or even to around the time when I was born, back then there was still a lot of angst in the world. It was just around different things. There was still a lot of great change going on. In fact, I think around the time that I was born, it was the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And so we're seeing, I know a lot of that, the Aquarian, free spirit and, being more humanitarian. We're seeing that, take place in its own way on a larger scale. Thank you, Anja Sean, for your nice note to me. Happy February to you too. My kitty isn't interrupting this video today. So anyways, I'm going to pick one more card from the the Kleppern Reed deck, her Wisdom of the Oracle, which I love. I use this a lot as a personal growth tool, and I think that's how she designed it. It's a great deck to work with. Angels and Spirit, what do we need to know for today for people who are watching this video? Ooh, okay. Oh, interesting. This card that spilled out says time for a nap. So time for a nap is, well, it could genuinely mean that somebody out there today who's watching this video just needs to take a rest. Okay. Maybe you've been doing a lot over the weekend. Maybe you're recovering from an illness and you need to not push too hard. Okay. Give yourself some time off, some time to recover. Okay. And it's also about putting to rest. Now, this has the image of the moon. I know I'm a fan of Colette Barney, who is the maker of this deck. And in this particular deck, she does pay attention a lot. There's specific imagery that was put in it for good reason. So we can get a lot from just looking at the imagery. It's the moon, which is asleep, and a little fox, which is asleep on the moon. The moon is representative of our intuition. And the fox is something like, a fox is a very hunted animal, but they're both safe and at rest here. And it's kind of letting you know that it's kind of okay today to not have to be maybe trying so hard or worrying about being productive, or trying to figure things out, or trying to get your intuition to give you an answer. It's okay to take a break from it. Okay. Because your energies will recover and they will return. And sometimes I'm getting the image of that Winnie the Pooh. It's okay to just do nothing and just enjoy relaxing or reading a book or watching a movie or just taking a walk in nature. It's okay, because oftentimes when we let go is when those wonderful insights come. When we stop and just rest. Okay. So that's one of the messages that I'm asking, or that when I ask, what do we need to know today, Spirit? That's one of the ones that comes out. Anything else we need to know for today? Okay. Well, we've got the Y card in its protective position. Let's see what that has to do with. Okay. Well, with these two cards together, it's, asking you to take a time out, take a pause, and maybe look at, in your time of taking a pause or taking a rest, look at what's really motivating what you're looking to do. Okay. Before you send your passion into it. Look at what your real motivating factors are and make sure there's not an element of control or manipulation behind it. Because a lot of what's coming in with these astrological energies with the new moon and Leo and stuff like that is about letting go of control, of having to control the outcome, other people's feelings, other people's reactions, things like that. So that's what this card asks us to do. It's be willing to look at and face what your underlying real motivations are. Okay. And be willing to admit them to yourself. Okay. So I'll leave you with that and wish you a wonderful day. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you got some benefit from what we talked about today. All right. Take care, everyone.